Okay, guys, here we go. Jeremy Boyer, Jeremy Sutton, the Dirty Right Rear podcast. Got episode 16. And this week we're going to kind of recap Farmington Play Day. We got the Small Tire Shootout.
Pack the stands.
We did at Farmington for opening night, April 5th. The ticket giveaway deal, how that went. And we may touch on a little bit of the Texas that Power Ideal, Joe B. and a couple of his guys went to. And I think they got rained out, so then we'll touch on all that and right after this commercial break. Hey guys, Jeremy Boyer, Jeremy Sutton here, the Dirty Right Rear podcast, and also Chad Winch of the Barn. We got to thank our new big sponsor that we just picked up, Double D Motorsports. Double D Motorsports in Farmington specializes in all types of race car parts, from new and used, even full rollers and race-ready cars. Katie and Daryl are notorious for making full buyouts and buying a lot of people's stuff out. You never know what they will have over there at Double D. Check back every week to see what kind of new stuff they have arriving. Plus, get your weekly items for your racing, such as oils, lubes, tear-offs, seat belts, fuel jugs, all kind of miscellaneous items. You can go to Double D Motorsports Mondays and Thursdays, 10 to 6, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 3. Or you can call them, see if they'll meet you over there, 573-747-7816. Their address is 2882 Highway 67, Farmington, Missouri. It's just south of Farmington. Go over to Double D Motorsports and get all your racing needs.
Turner Services, they are located in St. Louis. They specialize in concrete flat work, asphalt paving and repair. They haul rock and dirt. They do bobcat and excavator work, retaining walls, draining issues, concrete tear outs, and snow plowing. Need something else done that's not listed? Give Cody a call at 314-397-2890, and he may just do what you need. All right, welcome back, guys. Here we are, episode 16. We was going to have Brian from Coles County, but he's a little under the weather today, so hope he gets feeling better, and we'll see him shortly.
Oh, yeah, we'll see him this weekend, I would imagine. Opening night, Coles County, yep. April 5th also. We got a lot of opening nights coming up, guys, so
yeah,
we're gonna mention all of them, and we'll get you all in there. Don't worry about it, and you know, this probably is a good thing, though. I think maybe every 4 or 5 shows we may need to do just a recap show.
Right. Yeah.
We're going to have so much racing that started, and heck, we only had really one race this weekend, and we got a lot to talk about. So.
Yeah, race season's here.
It's here. It's ready to go, man. Now we got all this rain.
Never fails.
So we'll have a month off probably.
Right, yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about the Pack the Stands ideas.
Yep.
It was actually Jeremy's idea. And that went phenomenal.
Dude, I mean, it's been a little bit of work, but it's been really fun. And I hate to say, everybody's like, oh, my God, that had to have been a lot. But it was a lot of work, but, it's been pretty cool. And we got to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
The idea, I thought we'd get maybe we were going to kind of throw our sponsorship money out there and get $100 worth of tickets in there. And I thought, man, if we could get, 20 tickets to give away, that'd be so cool. And it wasn't within 2 minutes. We had 20.
Our first
one was 20 tickets.
Yeah.
And then it was 20 tickets. And then it was 10 tickets. And then it was 20 tickets. And then it was 5. And then people giving sets of tickets. And I mean, before I knew it, we were at, 160?
Yeah, 160.
160.
And then we actually had to just stop it and say, guys, we're done.
Well, I couldn't write down fast enough.
We turned away a good 50 more tickets that, we just were like, hey, we'll do this again, but it's getting to be too much, and we knew that it was going to be a struggle to give all those away.
Yeah, I mean, we probably have, there's probably still about half the people that haven't picked up their tickets, and I know this won't air till next Friday, so they won't really get this, but we got about half that haven't picked up their tickets, but I know a handful of them have said this week, and I knew there'd be some that wouldn't get them or whatever, but no, man, it was phenomenal. We appreciate everybody, and
then...
Oh, yeah.
Daryl and Katie.
They were, we're doing this for Daryl and Katie, so they ain't got to get nothing out of their pocket. And then they donate 100 more tickets, and we've been handing those out left and right.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, we're trying to do this to make you guys money, put some money in the track, and because they're doing some cool things. And they're like, nope, we're getting involved. And I'm like, That's fine.
So we ended up with 260
tickets. And I mean, how many of the extra ones? Because we split the extra ones up and we went to, say, Walmart, AutoZone, Save-A-Lot, all these different places. We just go on a normal day and we see anybody with a race shirt or even what we kind of knew that went to the races and just hand them out. But I mean, so we had 50 tickets each, and I bet you I'm down to 10.
I think I got about 25 left,
Yeah.
but I got a list of people. And what we've tried to do with those extras is give them to people that don't go the races often.
Yep.
That's how we can help the track, is get somebody there that doesn't go often. One guy I gave 2 tickets to hasn't gone in 3 years. And I'm like, man, if we need to get him back involved. And so
I like the people that, they have 4 or 5 kids and then they're right at the age where they got to pay for them.
right.
So that's a big hit, man. That's, $50-$60. And, so, I mean, giving those people, they get to, go on $5 a night. And I understand that's a I say $50. You're going to eat some onion chips and cheese and some stuff like that. So,
Oh, yeah. I got thinking, a buddy of mine last night, Larry Gould. I'm like, man, I wonder, he's got wife, two daughters. And I'm like, I'm going to see if they want to go to the races. They like to go. They don't get to go often because of sports. And he's like, man, I'd really like to go, but we got a volleyball tournament next weekend. So we're going to have to pass, but I appreciate it. And it ain't 5 minutes later, he said, hey, scratch that. My oldest daughter wants 2 tickets so her and a friend can go.
Heck yeah.
So I dropped those off today. So I thought that was pretty cool too. Yep. So just, that whole thing's been neat, and we'll do it again.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not to this level. I don't know. I say that, but
Well, we have a few different people that's going to be donating certain tickets, and we're going to have some more raffles going on and all kinds of different stuff. So it'll happen again, but we're going to let this play out. I know there's a lot of people that want to jump aboard and kind of get going with this deal like we did, and we're definitely going to reach out to you. Don't worry, but we're going to let this opening day of Farmington Empire Speedway, we're going to let this play out before we do anything. Speaking of that, Robert Inman gave me a bucket. Well, I say a bucket. I had a bucket. I put his bag in my bucket, but so we've got shirts and a die cast. And when I say shirts, I mean, I think he gave 5 or 6 different shirts, and we're not going to forget about him, but I don't want to give all these away during this whole ticket giveaway. So we're going to kind of span it out, and we're going to give these shirts from him, and, we'll be mentioning him and everything. But yeah, that was pretty cool, man. He gave a whole pile of shirts and a die cast and everything. So we'll do some kind of drawing. We'll think of something cool. And, I just don't want to overpower the whole pack the stands deal right now.
Our next episode, we need to put that die cast up.
Yeah, I know. I should have brought it. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. One thing we do want to touch on, the weather forecast for next weekend looks terrible. So if opening night would rain out, these tickets would roll over to April 19th, which would be the next night, because they're off the 12th because the Outlaws are Peevely. So just keep that in mind. If it does rain out this weekend, or the 5th, then you can use them opening night, April 19th.
Yep. And I'm sure if something else happens, we'll just keep doing it and just get a hold of us. We'll work. Yeah. Everybody will work something out.
We'll post it too, and all that.
Yeah.
So.
But speaking of play day, we went to play day. Both of us did, so that was pretty cool. Everybody kind of talked to us and got going with everything, and everybody's really. It's just crazy how this blew up, man. I mean, I really expected this to just be something we did a few times and got, the Chili Bowl deal with Cole on here and the shootout. And then here we are, man. I can't believe it. And then everyone talks about it, and everybody's like, yeah, on Fridays I had somebody, which I won't mention his name because this was at work, but he's like, I go hide at work for an hour on Fridays and listen to the show. And I was like, oh God. And he goes, yeah, it's awesome, but I would mention his name, but who knows where. I don't remember exactly where he works and stuff, so I don't want to get him in trouble. But everybody else, like, yeah, if they got an office job, they're like, yeah, I kind of shut my door on Friday or whenever and listen to it.
I know Gerald Boyd told me.
That wasn't the one I wasn't going to mention. I would mention him, but
So
yeah, but I mean, it's just we appreciate everybody and everyone that helped with our ticket giveaway. I've mentioned them 2 or 3 different times on here, so are on our Facebook deal and stuff like that. But I guess should I throw them out here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the people that helped get this ticket that just went crazy from our 20 tickets to 160. Of course, Farmington Empire Speedway gave threw in another 100, but we had Bowen Signs, Lines, and
hard to say.
That's tough, man.
Bowen Signs, Lines, and Designs. Yeah.
Okay. She was our first one, 2 minutes. That was our 20 ticket right off the bat.
Well, if you remember, Chaston actually said, I'll give 2 tickets, and then his mom's like, here's 20.
Yeah, she was like, why is he so cheap, man? Come on. 2 tickets. And then she's like, I got 20. But yeah, we got GD Hauling, that's Gerald Boyd, and Evan Boyd Racing, Ronnie Hartley Racing, Wynant Construction, Mountainside Boutique, Paul Thomas Drywall, TNT and Company Moving Services, Gross Family Racing, Coulter McBride Racing, Palmer Reed Racing, Inman 26 Racing, Park Racing, Kyle Franklin Racing, 5-2 Motorsports, Brian Palmer 1S, Premier Door Company, Bates Ink and Apparel, Bill Nicholson Racing, Jeff Asher Racing, Gabe Rust, Larry Govro, Kevin Petty Racing. We might have got a couple more there towards the end that this was just the list, and that's why we had to shut it down a little bit, because we were trying to write this down. We both were working, and got jobs and stuff, and it just got so crazy. But once we retire off this show, we'll probably be able to do a little.
I remember in the middle of this, I texted Jeremy and I said, "This is turning into exactly what I didn't want it to. A damn job."
I love it.
It was awesome though. It was just overwhelming. So
the ticket giveaway was pretty cool. And I walked over in the stands, and people were like, "Hey man, are you guys? I entered that. Where do I get them?" I'm like, "I got them right here." Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then I did see I wish I remember that guy's name. A grandpa and his grandson was there, and I was like, "Hey, you guys going opening night?" And he goes, "We don't come all the time. We just came today because it's free to get in, obviously." And then I said, "Well, hey, you want 2 tickets?" And he's like, "Well, yeah." And I said, "Okay." So I was handing them out left and right, but it was just a pretty cool deal. We could talk about that whole deal this whole show, so we'll probably cut that out for a little bit.
Let's go ahead and move on to the small tire shootout. That was
Hold on, time out. Play day. I got a couple cool things for play day. So we met a bunch of people. I got that in there. I got our Robert Inman, giveaway deal we're gonna do. I just wanted to make sure he didn't think I kept all his shirts wearing them at the house or something. Also, Daryl's kind of got some information for us about the whole, tiller or lily or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really know the exact name of that thing, but when you go to the track and you see him tearing them up and then the track is completely awesome after that, that's what he bought. Well, it's a lot of money for him.
Yeah.
And he is paying for that. So, everybody just give him a minute. I'm pretty sure he ordered it. I don't want to throw it out there. He's got it for sure, but I think it's about 100% done deal that he got it, and he's stressing about it.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of money for him.
It was a lot of money. And
I know there'll probably be some people throw out and help him and everything. And, that's something that is his. It's not the racetrack. So he bought that himself. So everybody give him a break for a minute. I don't think it will be here for opening night. So
yeah, I'm not sure.
Everybody kind of chill out, give him a break, and after that, I know he'll be. He gets that thing. Ooh, man, those things are like a lifesaver. You seen Josh Carroll at Peevely? He bought one, and he was displaying it everywhere. So for Farmington to have one,
right?
Whew, that's awesome. So anybody wants to help him out with that too, you can jump aboard, get a hold of him, and I guarantee he would take some help with it because I know the cost of it, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, and I know I'm not going to throw the guy's name out there because I don't want everybody hitting him up for money, but I already know one guy that gave a pretty decent donation to it, and you know who you are, so that was appreciated.
And I know Daryl's not like, "Hey man, give me money for this, give me money," because he ain't going to do that.
Right.
But I guarantee anybody would be like, "Hey, I'll pitch in to help something." I mean, I think he'd take $5 just because it was expensive, and it's something like if he don't have the racetrack anymore, he's going to sell it probably and take a beating on it to another racetrack because he ain't going to take it home and till the garden with it.
Right.
But
hey, another thing that he told us is the fair board's coming on board to help him replace all the bleachers in the pits, which is much needed.
Yep.
But thanks for the St. Francis County Fair Board for helping out on that.
They got a lot of it fixed over on the other side. They had a little bit of issues with that, and then now the fair board is. So the fair board ain't all bad. Don't ever think that we're always like saying the fair board's bad. They're helping. They know they got to do some stuff, but same deal. They ain't got the money to dump all into that either, and they don't want to. They're not going to make anything off of it really, besides a rent. Like pretty much a rent deal, but. Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of our play day thing. We did have Colin Palmer jumping that sprint car, so the modifieds are for sale.
And he looked damn good, dude. I know you had left, but I was impressed. I'm like, holy crap.
Well, you sent me that, and I was pulling out of the parking lot, and I was almost going to turn around, and I had to go down to the other track and wanted to help some of the kids that were fresh into something, and I didn't want to miss that. And then you sent me that right at the end, and I was like, I'm going to turn around. And I'm like... No, and then I just figured the next day that I was going to see modifieds for sale everywhere.
Yeah, I bet it happens.
Yeah, it'll happen. I mean, he'll run modifieds this year, but it's gone, And then we got to really hound on Chaston. We got to get that sprint car there too.
I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, his family seems to be really into the modifieds, but so I think that's about. I don't know. We can't really go on any of these shows without we got a handful of about 2 or 3 guys that we mention every show, and it's usually blasting on them pretty good or just making fun of them or something. But so we're out there, and everybody's car is either looking amazing or is completely plain because they're getting it wrapped. Like Jeff Asher's car, black and white car. I had a car just like that. Love stuff like that. His wasn't wrapped. There's a bunch of them that wasn't wrapped, and then a bunch of them that were wrapped awesome. Like that modified
Josh Reed.
Yeah,
dude, that
car's sick.
Sick, man, sick.
And I'm not a modified fan. Everybody knows that, but I'm growing into this because we're talking about so much. But his was sick. But I think Ronnie Hartley, man, I gotta talk this out here. So I think we're gonna have to set up a GoFundMe. Did you see his rear bumper?
I did.
I think he made it out of fence post, and I think there was a brick on it, and there was like
some gray paint.
Yeah, some gray paint and some tie wire. I seen some duct tape, and it wasn't even the good stuff. It was like the stuff we pull off and don't even stick. And I mean, a whole brand new looking car, body looks awesome, everything looks awesome, and then this bumper right there that I don't even know who he had make it.
So some homeless what's up guy with that, on the Ronnie? Street. I mean, you spent all this money on this new car, this new badass motor, and then you throw that fence post on there. So
I guess we'll have pack the stands hashtag. I guess we'll have to try to figure out a way to get him a rear bumper because it was made out of marshmallows and all kinds of weird stuff.
Hey, he didn't hit anything.
No, he looked pretty good. I'll tell you what. I mean, it's typical play day track. Anybody that goes there and thinks you're going to jump in there and it's just going to be a totally awesome deal, and it's not going to happen for play day, boys. I mean, it was dusty. It got a little rough, and everything, but everybody still ripped it. Yeah. It was fine. And after knowing a lot more about racetrack stuff, it's hard for me to even say, because I probably was back in the day going, man, went to play, it was so dusty, it's stupid. And I still went though.
Right.
So
every year.
But I mean, a lot of the newer people, man, they looked good. And then a lot of the regular people still looked pretty good. Seth Polis, I mean, first he was giving it the old fishtail. Looked like he was out there doing a little fishing, but he got the hang of it pretty quick. Yeah. And I know he's only ran a race or two. And then Colin Palmer jumping that, and what car did he jump in?
Mike Crater. Yeah,
that guy looked good. I know he's drove stuff.
He's drove modifieds. I mean, as long as I can remember.
Sprint car is a different game.
Different animal jumping in a sprint car, and he definitely he looked good.
Yep, all the modifieds look good. Man, the Brent Thompson though, man, got some. I can't believe it. He told us he may retire after this.
Man, I don't know if we want to go there.
I ain't gonna talk about it because it ain't happening.
Yeah,
I mean. He might do it or whatever, but he went out there for play day. He ran a few laps and done some stuff, and he said, this might be my last year, and I don't think so, but we'll see.
Yeah, I kind of hope not. I know he's definitely getting older, but man, our youth is slowly disappearing. Everybody that we went out there and watched and cheered for is pretty well gone now.
I know. I guess that's why I'm going to have to start doing this modified deal. I'm going to have to get out there to Farmington and actually kind of look around and see who some of these, which Colin Palmer, that's a new one, but I don't expect him to be there long. So I guess Chaston will have to he'll have to take the reins on it.
Yeah.
Being the new, or I say like the 20 to 25-year-old people in the stands or people that just come in the pits, you're going to have to be their, goat like we had of Brett Thompson.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see about that. But that was our play day deal. And don't forget April 5th. Farmington Empire Speedway, that's our opening night. I'm sure we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But and also a lot of people send us stuff about our Dirty Right Rear stickers, and Sutton's been mailing some out here and there, but we got overwhelmed with that also. And I mean, we're getting new ones made, so give us a minute. And if we don't have them until we see you at the track, then we'll we'll get you'll get a sticker. Don't worry about it. But man, we ran out so quick, and we already had people on the list and this and that. So if they didn't get mailed out or whatever, we'll get it taken care of.
Right. Andy Moss over at Expert is taking care of all of our stickers. And one cool thing he's adding to our new stickers is a QR code. So all of our stickers have a QR code. You can scan it with your smartphone and it'll go right to our Facebook page. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yep. That's a pretty good deal. He's going to be making some other stuff. He don't know it yet, but I'm going to show up Tuesday and bombard him with some stuff.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's jump into small tire. We, I can't say we.
I tell you what, dude. And I told Chad, I wanted to go so bad this weekend just because, we're doing this. We talk about the kids a lot. And that's, I love watching the kids. It's our future. I love seeing it. And I guess it goes back to my original, the OG Doe Run with Bobby Johnson. It was a huge family atmosphere. You know, it was kid friendly, and you know, you'd see all the kids out playing, and I just always love that, and it's kind of still continued. And I so bad wanted to go. I haven't been in 2 years, and I just couldn't talk myself into giving him any money.
Yeah, I get it. I have cars there, so obviously, I mean, I'm going to go and you know, with Zane and all the Coleman kids that I help, and well, heck, I say that now.
You got the Bates kids.
I got the Bates kids, and then Gerald, you know, or Evan. He jumped in a restrictor, so we're going to go into that here in a minute, so I won't get all into that. But yeah, Small Tire went there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, actually. Yeah. I guess we can jump into just throw some results out here for some people. We'll try not to get it boring about this and that, but you know, I'll let Sutton. He's statistician or whatever he does, like but that. I'll probably chime in with a couple of different people that I was impressed with too.
Yeah, I really, you know, that's the hard part with this. I just wrote down our kids that either we've had on the podcast, or you know, like, or you're affiliated with, or I'm affiliated with. So there's so many kids that I left out, and I don't want anybody mad at us for leaving kids out.
And I left out. I kind of did like a top 5 deal, or somebody brand new. You know, like some kids didn't have the greatest of weekends, and I got their name on here, but I just was like, hey, you know, they didn't have a great weekend, but we want to mention them because they're still part of our group. And I mean, everyone's part of our group. If you want to be part of our group, you can be part of our group.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I mean, so.
But we'll go on the results. We had first. I'm going to go into the go-karts. We had Friday and Saturday night. Carter Bates finished second both nights.
Oh yeah,
I know they had to be on cloud 9.
It was pretty cool, and I don't know which one was even better. I'm going to say her name. I guess I'm going to say it's Allie.
I think so. Yeah.
Ali. Anyway, yeah. Allie Evans. I'm going to call her that, and if it's wrong, then we'll fix it next time. But, you know, she got first both nights,
yeah.
And Carter was right behind her, but they battled.
Really?
They battled.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think they just posted a video up of it on both their pages probably have it. But, man, yeah, they were battling it. Either one of them was going to win, and Carter ended up on the second place streak. But he was still – that kid's pretty cool, man. See, what sucks is you're going to have to come somewhere with us because some of these kids are –
Coles County next week.
Oh, yeah. Some of these kids are pretty funny, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool. And Carter, he's a handful. He's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I already talked to Kyle. They're going to Coles County next week. Okay. So, and then moving on, we had well, first we want to say that Allie girl, congratulations. That was her first 2 wins in second year racing?
Yep.
So that's awesome for her. So keep up the good work.
Oh, I got to throw out, what was it, Friday night? Not a lot of people know, but she's a handful too, Boston Coleman.
Yeah,
she gets in the go-kart. She got top 3.
Third place Friday night,
man.
Yeah.
So she was like, I want everything. And I said, I know you did. And she was living, I bought her a whole bag of candy. So she was probably all hopped up that night.
Then also we had Presley Hall there Friday night. And I know she didn't have the best night Friday night, but then she went to, is it Emma, Missouri on Saturday? Is that how you say it? Emma. Go-kart race. She's been racing there all winter, and she picked up her first heat race win.
Yep. That's like I said, on Friday night, I have you know, Evan and Xander and Presley and, you know, they didn't have rough nights. They still had good nights, but it just wasn't, you know, they weren't killing the top 5 or anything like that. But those kids, I mean, they all want to win so bad. But also, if you see them in the pits, they're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and that's why, that's why I wanted to go. I enjoy watching that. You know, it's like,
yeah,
you know, don't get me wrong. I like the micro stuff too, but I wanted to go. I just couldn't bring myself to it.
Which half these kids, man, I think the way this micro game is blowing up, man. I mean, it's a lot of money, but like the restrictors and the junior sprints they're still kind of happening. But man, you can dump so much money in that junior sprint that you're almost going straight to a restrictor. But I think some of these kids, those classes are just going to blow up, man.
I did see like the junior sprints. They had 18 cars this weekend.
Yeah,
man, that's a shame that that class ain't running weekly.
Well, and you know, a lot of them travel, so I get some of it being like that, but that's your stepping stone class, and that's the disagreement I have with some of it. But you know, it's a sponsorship deal too. The money ain't paid this year, and that's the way it is.
So we'll go on to the older go-karts. We had one of our former guests about 2 episodes ago, Cruz Griffall, with the win on Friday night.
Oh yeah,
and then Saturday night, I seen that he won the heat race and forgot to scale.
Yeah.
So then he had to go to the back and still drove it up to P2. So I know that's a tough lesson to learn, not scaling, but
actually last year we drove all the way to Port City. Bella locks in on Friday night for the big show, runs through the field, gets fourth, passes the scales. And my heart sank worse than hers because I was working on it, and I was just like, man, did you see that she ran from the back to the front? We're locked in tomorrow, and then drives off the track. Yeah. But she don't like to talk about that, so we ain't gonna say
yeah. And then we'll go on the junior sprints. We had Mr. Cruz Parson with 2 more wins, and that's
somebody. We may have to put like a $20 bounty on him.
Yeah, that man, he's.
See what all these other kids can get in there and get him. He's total domination right now, man.
Ever since the shootout, I know they found they got some setup help.
Yep, they've got some stuff helping him now, and
they're clicking him, man.
He's killing it. He's killing it.
I believe since the shootout, he's ran 6 races and won 5 of them, and he's won all 4 of his junior sprint races. Or heck, it might even be more than that now.
I don't even know, man.
He's won every junior sprint race feature, and then he did run the go-kart twice last week at DeCoin and only won 1 of those 2.
I don't know if it's his all's new setup and everything, or that Pink Pony Club song, man. They're loving that song in that trailer. It's bumping. Yeah. So I mean, it may be that. I don't think any of them know what it actually means, but every time I go by there, that song's pumping in the trailer. So maybe that's it.
That's got to be Uncle Andrew's deal.
Yeah, I guarantee he don't tell him what the Pink Pony Club is.
Oh no, they probably tell. He probably knows. It's Cruz.
Probably knows. He's probably like, "Let's go."
Yeah. So then Friday night we had Miss Willow Coleman with the top 3, third place finish.
Actually, big mover, 6 spots.
Really?
Yeah, she moved up 6 spots, and she was up there. Her and Cruz last year, they were battling, and Willow was kind of getting the hand on him last year, and then they got these new hypercars, and they're so new that there's no books on them. There's no nothing, and now Matt helped this weekend, and it kind of got rolling again, so we'll see. But, I mean, it's just they're so lost on those cars but they're just like anything. You'll figure it out. Yeah. It's just going to take, a little bit of time.
Then I know, Cohen, Coleman, Evan Boyd, Xander, Presley, and Carter, those kids didn't have the weekend they wanted, but they still had a
Now, Friday, since you weren't there, you didn't get to see it, but Cohen ran 3rd for majority of the race.
Really?
Living the dream. He got out pumped. He fell back to 6th the last couple laps, but, yeah, he ran 3rd for a long time, man. He was fired up.
I did see Evan on Saturday night, got 3rd place, so he salvaged a good run there.
Salvaged a good weekend.
Yeah.
He's running that and restrictor, and it's too much for Gerald. He's overwhelmed with it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
he's overwhelmed with it.
I noticed several of the kids, are running like the restricted and the A class. I see Bella's running both now.
Dude, I told Sam, no way, we're not running Bella A class. We'll let her practice it. She went out there and practiced, and I said, hey, we're running A class. And he's like, what? And he goes, I thought you said no. And I said, we're running A class. Let's put the restrictor up. And
Really?
He's like, what? And I said, dude, that was sick. I said, I've never seen somebody jump in it like that but she's a gasser, and once she got cars out there, which sucks, she had some bad luck the rest of the night, but it's still, I couldn't believe it, dude. I was just like, holy crap, dude, which she's got a great, great car.
Yeah.
And it was just running great. And then Saturday she goes out there for the feature, and I was all pumped up for her, and I was like, she's gonna run through the field. She wasn't gonna win. Obviously, I can't say that. She ain't gonna probably pass Cole and Wiggs and some of those guys. Right. But she was gonna run through the field and took off and just made this noise. Which, if anybody out there knows an injector that sticks, it's a fart cannon. It's an old school lowrider. You hear it go out, and she did first lap, and it did that, and I automatically knew what was wrong. And that just happens sometimes, and I was bummed. But, yeah, her jumping in that A-class, dude, I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is insane. I said, man, every time she goes out there in that car, though, man, check her helmet, check her belts, because this is a different world, man.
Right.
But, she killed it.
So we'll do the restricted results. I seen somebody you like to pick on, Dalton Clary.
Dude, stud, man.
Won Saturday night.
Stud, man. He
did Willow go get in the picture with him?
I would probably imagine, they were I didn't see exactly, but there was a ton of kids out there, but you should have seen that kid over the moon, dude. I think he got like 12th the night before.
Wow.
I don't even know what he got, but then he he walked the dog on him. I mean, they weren't going to get around him. It was pretty wild. I mean, he was hauling, and I was like, holy crap. He just, confidence. I even talked to him afterwards. And I was like, were you nervous that last lap? And he goes, oh God, yeah. But man, that was pretty awesome to see. I'm a big, even though Willow says I'm not, I'm a big Dalton Clary fan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. And I will say that, Preston Surratt, though, he runs restrictor, and he's not kind of our group, but I talk to his dad all the time. About 5 more laps, he was going to take the whole field.
Really?
He was hauling.
Man.
But
so then we had Bella on Friday night with second place.
Second place restrictor.
So good run for her.
Yep.
No, Zane and Evan and those guys didn't have the best weekend.
Yeah, Zane's, I mean, he's got the crazy speed and everything. He's just, man, he's putting it in there, and he's paid the price.
Yeah.
You know, when you put it in there on somebody and somebody pays the price, and unfortunately, DeCoin he did, and here he did. And I mean, you know, Billy talked to him a little bit about, hey man, we need to finish the race before we can win the race and this, and he kind of got a little upset the other night. But we had a parent kind of jump on us a little bit, jump on Billy and everything, totally uncalled for. Guy's a douche. And his kid drives just the same, and they're kids, and they're going to do it. And he kind of said some words. He did come apologize, so I'm okay with that now. But at first, I was like,
Yeah.
Billy told me about it, and I was like, let's do this. Let's get thrown out, because that's stupid, man. The kid beat him up a little bit at DeCoin, and then Zane threw it in there, and he did run him over pretty good. But these are kids, man.
Yeah.
If it was outlaw class and everything, I'd be like, yeah, something needs to happen. But yeah, the guy kind of was a douchebag to Billy, and then he did come apologize. But they still got one coming now, because I don't really care. Zane can do whatever he wants, and we'll put it back together.
All right. So then we got Kylie Bates. I know she made her restricted debut, but was it her racing debut or just
No,
restricted?
just restrictor. She ran junior sprints a handful of times, but she's a tall, so she couldn't run a junior sprint no more. But no, I helped them a little bit. Didn't do a whole lot with them, just because she is 100% the same as what Bella was. She's going to leave it to the floor. And then she gets in the slick and it slides up the track. And I mean, I told her dad, and I guess it'd be her grandpa too, hey, we can't really set the car up for this. So when she talks to people, and I think Bella went and talked to her and was like, hey, you kind of got to let off of it, hit the brake and everything. And by Saturday night, it's like she's been driving. And that's why I told her dad, I said, just give her the weekend, give her a couple weeks or even a month. She'll get the hang of, hey, this leaving it to the floor sometimes ain't as fast.
Yeah.
So she got the hang of it. It was pretty cool.
I see, Friday night she got 16th, but then Saturday night she rebounded with the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Finished 10th, so she had to be better.
Good laps.
Saturday night.
Real good laps.
Cool to see there.
Yep.
And then we'll move on to the A class. We had Friday night, Cole Tinsley was the winner.
Yep.
Did he pass? Is that the one last lap?
Last lap, past Wiggs. They got in some lap traffic, and he just sent it on the top, and I think was just hoping for the best, and it happened.
Yeah. Saturday night, I know he had some issues in the heat, started 12th and run it up to 3rd.
Yep. He got into somebody in the heat. Well, this 22 car, and I don't know the guy personally or anything, but man, you drive like a donkey. I mean, Pate or something like that, it was his last name. And man, on the start, when they were trying to start, he was just, and he's 20 something years old, I think everybody said. I don't really know him. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a fan or nothing. I'm a fan of everybody, but dude, on the starts, I don't know what goes through his mind, but he's just on the gas, off the gas, had the start all messed up, and Cole just sent it in there and was like, I don't care. We're just going to wad each other up then if you're going to be an idiot.
All right.
And yeah, that kid drove like, I don't know, man. He was fast, but he was all over the place, but man, wasn't very good deal. I was kind of disappointed in that kid.
And we had Brody Bridgman, a former guest. He ran 5th and 6th on the weekend in A class.
Yep.
And then Bella made her A class debut and run 12th and 13th. And then we'll move on to the Winged Outlaw. So Friday night, Max Crabtree, former guest, was 2nd, and he run 3rd on Saturday night.
Yeah, him and Cole swapped.
Yeah, I'll say Cole was opposite. Cole was 3rd on Friday night and 2nd on Saturday night.
Yep.
And then we had Brody Bridgman 7th on Friday night and 10th on Saturday night.
Yep. Yeah, Brody actually had a dance competition, so he didn't get nothing. He rolled straight into the track, and actually his heat race was going out.
Oh, wow.
No, so they didn't have any kind of nothing.
Wow.
So he rolled in there, started last, so all his stuff, everybody's like, oh, man, he got 7th or whatever, but I mean, he started in the back of everything, so it was not.
So that kind of concludes the Small Tire Shootout. You got anything else you want to say about the event?
Not too much, man. I had some. I do say, Evan got the hang of his restrictor. He started in restrictor, so I want to mention all that. And then, Bella had a bad flip in the restrictor. That kid kind of put her up in the fence. That was kind of a dirty deal there, but that stuff's going to happen, I guess. I want to make sure I mention that Lane Surratt, man, big time on Saturday night, man. Kid was a hammer. And, I mean, he was good in the restrictor, but, man, he was a hammer in the A class too. But I think he went like 11 spots in the restrictor up. So, I mean, that was pretty good. Restrictor's a hard class to pass a lot, so that was pretty good. Let me look at this. I think that's about all I got on my list. I will say, hey, I don't want to say too much about cheating and stuff like that, but, we had Cole got second on the finale in the Outlaw, and, Tommy actually they checked every class. So they did take tire samples, and which this is public knowledge, and I like the Wiggs family. I like their racing. They think the kid's good and everything. But they've been busted twice for tires.
Yeah.
And they haven't ran much since they got busted, really, a whole lot. And they came to Doe Run, and they took tire samples. So nobody got paid yet. So we'll see if Cole may be if they decided they want to throw the tire game out there again, then but they probably learned their lesson. So we'll see. And I'm not saying they're cheaters. Well, they got caught, so they cheated. So it is what it is. I mean, that's a rough deal. And, it just sucks. You do lose a little respect, and it's hard to say when your tires come back. It's hard to say we didn't do it, or stuff like our fueling or any of that kind of stuff. That's a tough road to go down, because there's a handful of stuff last year that happened with other teams that they lost a lot of respect for some stuff that they said they didn't know, and then they got busted again. So that's a lot. But
and you didn't get kicked out.
No. I mean, Sam, baby, we'll see. We'll see how this week goes. There was a lot of stuff flying around for him, mostly when Bella had that bad wreck. So, and I mean, I say we won't be back too much, but we have a couple races slated to go there. But I mean, it's like Zane's car, it kind of was making some noises. So we're going to send the injectors off this week and get them cleaned and do some stuff. So I would say we'll probably be back there Friday, and I'll probably talk the Bates into going. She needs to get some laps. If they can go both nights, and I know they're going to Coles County opening night, but if we can get some stuff in there, that'll get some laps in then, and Evan too. So
Kyle worked this week, so he should be off next week, I think.
I don't even know what he really does. I never asked him.
He told me he's a coordinator for barge captains.
Oh, okay.
And he works 7 days on, 7 days off.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I talked to him Friday, he was working.
Yeah. So I knew he worked a little bit this weekend, but that's about.
All right.
Well, hey, you know what? I did got some other stuff for Small Tire deal. And this ain't nothing crazy going on, but I mean, if everybody don't get to go to the track and see what all these kids are doing running around, I mean, it's pretty cool. And I know it's cool for me to watch, but a lot of these people, a lot of them don't think about it. So many of these kids getting in trouble, man. They're fighting each other. I know there was a couple fist fights, and a couple kids got ran over this weekend. And I mean, I think it's funny. It wouldn't be funny if it was my kid or if I was one of the parents. But I mean, I know a lot of the kids were kind of getting into it, but also, Matt and Haley's baby made the racing debut.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Pretty good. It was a good night on Friday. So she brought him out, and I mean, I pretty much took care of it the whole night, I think.
I bet you did.
I held it all night, and I mean, I was changing it, and I was doing everything.
So when you hold a baby, are you still out here like this?
No, I mean, I kind of
with Lexi.
No, I kind of held it because Linda pushed it on me. Like, she had it up against me, and everybody thought I was going to drop it or do something or hold it by its like leg or something. And I was,
it's got a name,
Yeah, Biscuit.
Biscuit, okay.
He, I took care of him pretty much. I was getting tired. I didn't get to work on the cars hardly because I was babysitting all night.
I wholeheartely believe that.
Yeah, he made his debut on Friday, but
good.
That was pretty cool. And and here's some. I hope some people got some pictures of this. And we haven't talked about any of these kids much, but Davey Boyer has a couple boys that run go-karts. But if you have not seen his youngest roll through the pits you are missing out on one of the coolest things. And I wish I could have got a video of it. He's got one of those little striker bikes or whatever it is, it has no pedals and he's rolling around. So he's got a full driving suit on, mini pit vipers, and a helmet. And he just rolls up there. I mean, the coolest cat in the pits. And it looks like he'll run up to like the back door of a trailer, slide sideways. And it's like, he's like stealing your girl. I mean, he just straight pimping in the pits. I mean, I know some people were taking pictures of it. I didn't get any, but I think I think it's Brecken. I think that's his youngest one. But dude, he's just 100 mile an hour down through the pits, throws it sideways and looks in there, and it's like all the 5-year-old girls come out, and he's just like, "Sup?" I mean, just total cool cat. If you're around them and you need to talk to him. He's pretty funny, man.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. That's some of the stuff you'll miss.
Yeah.
But oh well. But I mean, yeah, it was. Man, it was awesome. I was like, he's like Mr. Steal Your Girl here, right here. It's pretty awesome.
That's
but
awesome.
Yeah, that's about whole small tire deal. I mean, I'm sure I'll forget something and ran up about something else coming.
Well, why don't we, now that we've kind of wrapped up the small tire deal, why don't we take a moment to thank some more sponsors?
Yep. Hey guys, this is Jeremy Boyer and Jeremy Sutton here with the Dirty Right Rear podcast. We want to highlight one of our sponsors, supporters, and everything else with Expert Graphics, Powder Coating, and Fabrication. Expert Powder Coating and Fabrication is a family-owned business out of Farmington over in the industrial park. You can go over there and get some graphics, lettering, anything for your race cars. Get some powder coating done for your race cars, any other kind of stuff. Get any kind of fabrication also done with them. You can come over there and talk to Andy Moss. He's in there just plugging away at the computer, designing everything, doing whatever he can. You got Dennis in the back with his lab coat, mixing up the powder coat, really getting the stuff going. And then you got Dan over there just fabricating anything and everything you want. But if you want to hit them up, Expert Powder Coating over in Farmington at the industrial park, you can give them a call, 573-756-7324.
We want to welcome Premier Door Company to the list of sponsors for the Dirty Right Rear podcast. Keith and Paige Jackson with Premier Door Company out of Terre-de-Lac. They do all things garage door related. You got sales, service, and installation of any garage door equipment, garage door openers, any garage door problems you may have. You can call 573-783-7775 or look them up on Facebook at Premier Door Company.
Hey guys, this is Jeremy Boyer and Jeremy Sutton of the Dirty Right Rear podcast. We want to shout out to one of our new sponsors, which we've talked about quite a bit lately, but Coles County Speedway, actually the oldest micro track in the United States, opened up in 1956. They're going to be running every Saturday night, Outlaw Wing, Non-Wing, A-Class Wing, Restrictor, Junior Sprint, and Mod Lights. They'll also have several 2- and 3-day big shows all throughout the season that they're going to have, and is the home of the WFO Micro Series also. And you can check them out at colescountyspeedway.com or on their Facebook page. And their address is 10743 East County Road 900 North, Mattoon, Illinois.
Another new sponsor on the Dirty Right Rear podcast is Pettis Automotive. Pettis Automotive is located in Farmington. They have a selection that is second to none. Shopping with Pettis Automotive means having access to a wealth of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, whether you're intrigued by a Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. The story never changes. Pettis Automotive has exactly what you're looking for, all at a price that never leaves your bank account feeling beaten and bruised. They have on-site collision repair, parts, and a service department. Pettis Automotive is located on Woodlawn Drive in Farmington, right off Highway 67 at the Fairgrounds exit. All right, welcome back. So let's move on to opening nights. We got a lot of opening nights here coming up on the 4th, or I'm sorry, on the 5th. We got Farmington Empire Speedway, their opening night. Of course, the Pack the Stands idea.
I bet you that place will be freaking packed.
I hope so.
I think it'll be crazy.
They're going to run their sprint cars, their A mods and B mods, their limited late models, and factory stocks. So hopefully, everybody watching this can go out and support them. And
yep. I mean, I know we're gonna kind of mention everybody's stuff, but yep. I mean, everybody sticks around to their own place. So I mean, yep. I think Farmington with our Pack the Stands deal, and we're going to try to do this for some other places too. So
yep. And then also on the 5th, we got Coles County with the their opening night and also the opening night of the WFO Micro Series.
Yep, that's going to be a big deal, man. I think I've already talked to a handful of people that are going to run for points that I didn't even think was going to run for points. Right. So, I mean,
that's where Jeremy and I are both going, is to Coles County.
We had that locked up on. If we knew we were going to do this Pack the Stands deal, we may have planned a little different, had some different things going, and then this Pack the Stands deal happened. So we already had it committed to go up to Coles County and release our banner.
So we are the official podcast of the Coles County Speedway. You're going to have a 10 by 12 foot banner on the back straightaway.
So that's gonna be pretty wild.
Everybody to see, and also I want to announce on that another place you can find us starting now is on Brian's WFO TV. It's on Roku and in any smart devices, but our podcasts are going to be start to air on there as well. So that's another place. And I think you can tune in and watch.
They're going to be working on that WFO TV deal, trying to stream some races and just get some stuff. So we'll keep you all posted on some stuff like that. But also, since we aren't going to be at Farmington, we are going to have a street team over at Farmington.
We are.
So we're going to do maybe a little giveaway, a little something. We're going to have you find some people. I know this won't release till Friday, but on Saturday at opening at Farmington, if you can find a couple certain people, we'll post a little bit of details on here. Then you're going to get some pretty cool stuff. So
you're just going to find them. They should have neither one of us are wearing our podcast shirts today. But
they'll have our podcast shirts on. I'm going to make them wear it, and then if you find them, they're going to have some goodies for you or something. We'll figure it out, but it's going to be something pretty cool.
Yep. Back to Coles County, we want to thank Brian for he made us an offer on a billboard that we couldn't refuse, and also, I guess we go ahead and announce we are the official restart cone for the WFO Micro Series.
Yep. Once we get up there and Tyler Robbins and Rick Miller, run that deal, we kind of worked a deal with them. We're the official restart cone. We're going to sticker that thing up and get it looking wild, and they'll tote that thing around for a while. And that'll be pretty cool. That's a pretty cool deal. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm just what those guys have done for us, and and I just can't thank them enough. They've been a big part of this.
That WFO is going to blow up, man.
It is. They are pretty far from us, but it's just cool to see, people 3-4 hours away wanting to be a big part of this. So thank you guys for that. The WFO series, man, especially with the restricted now.
I'd say next year, man, it's just going to.
All right.
Be even bigger, but I think this year it's going to blow up. I think they're going to end up more than what they expected.
Yeah. So Saturday night at Coles County, you got the WFO Outlaw Micros. Then they have the non-wing Micros, restricted juniors, A-class, and mod lights.
I think the mod light deal is going to be big up there.
I hope so.
They're actually really pretty cool to watch up there.
Are they?
I'm surprised. The mod lights are usually roughed. Kind of give a rough deal for them sometimes, but they're pretty quick up there.
Then we'll move on to Peevely, Josh Carroll's first night. He's doing a farewell to Ray Marler and Kenny Schrader. Man, the improvements. I drove by this week, and they haven't posted this yet. I don't know if they will by then, but they were putting up new fence.
Yeah.
So Peevely's getting new fence for sure. I seen it in turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I don't know if they're doing the whole thing or not. They've built new concessions, new bars. They've painted a lot of stuff, and then I seen that they were doing some asphalt work this week too, paving all that the upper pit or the upper fan area. So
I seen all the pictures they posted, that bar area and all that different kind of stuff they got going.
Redid the suites. Man, Josh is not holding back on that.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest tracks in the country. And one of the coolest ones to watch, like Outlaws and stuff on. You're gonna
Outlaws. So we'll touch on that. The Outlaws will be there April 11th and 12th. Okay. So two weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, really a week from when this airs. Yeah. So they're going to run late models, A mods, pro mods, sportsman, and 4 cylinders at night. We're
gonna have to start doing our research on B mods, pro mods, street stocks, and
factory stocks.
Because people are going to listen to it and they'll be like, "Those guys are wrong," and I'm be like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know any better."
So the last track that we're gonna highlight their opening night, and this is a track we've not yet mentioned on the show, but they are scheduled to come on within the next few weeks, is the Benton Speedway down in south of Cape. Obviously Benton. It's their opening night. They're going to be running 305 sprint cars, A and B mods, mod lights, street stocks, and spectator class.
And that's Saturday also?
Yeah, that's Saturday. I'm excited to get those guys on. Got a couple guys coming on. We're going to talk about their schedule. You know, they have a drag strip on site there that they operate as well, and I know they got a Power Eye sprint car show, ASCS sprint car show. They have a Hell Tour show. So they got several big shows that, you know, I want to talk about and head up. But that's one track that we haven't mentioned yet, and I did think another track that we haven't mentioned yet, and on my way over here is Tri-City Speedway.
Yep.
Their opening night is the Friday night, the 4th.
Okay.
And this is all off the top of my head. A mods, B mods, late models. I'm not sure what else
I think
they're
they
running.
run 4 cylinders.
I think so, and I
don't know what the difference is.
Yeah.
I don't know front wheel drive. I don't know all that stuff, but I think they do run the 4-cylinder class too.
And I think they run some sort of a factory stock or street stock or something along those lines.
Yep. We got a couple other. I know Marion, SIR, Southern Illinois Raceway. We're gonna have them come. We kind of put them off a little bit. It's a micro heaven there, and it's all your littler cars, micros, junior sprints, mod lights, stuff like that. But they usually start a few weeks after everybody, so we'll blow them up here in the next few weeks. And
I looked. I believe their opening night is the 12th.
Okay, so I knew that they started a little later, but we'll blow them up. Caleb's doing a good job out there. He took over for Jake Palazano, and that track's just a staple. So we'll mention them. I'm sure we got him coming on too. Sometime. We're going to try to hit him up like he's having a monster mod light show, and then of course the Hustle and the Sprague, the biggest races in the country for micro racing. Those will be coming out, and so we're going to get him a little closer to that, so we don't take away from any of our other stuff we got going, and then it'll give him good publicity for those shows. So
we'll go ahead and touch on this. Is tentative. This is obviously scheduled to change. Our upcoming episodes next week. We have the Benton guys on, and then the 13th. This is an interview I'm stoked for. Kenny Dobson with Jacksonville and also with MOA.
Yep.
He actually reached out to us about coming on our show in January.
Yep.
And I reached out to him, and he said, let's wait till closer to season.
That's pretty cool. The MOA series and everything, it's been a pretty good staple for a while, and they're actually going to have one at Farmington this year. So we'll definitely be probably doing something for that, because I want to make sure Daryl and them, they bring a series in, I want to make sure we're part of it.
Oh, yeah.
To try to help. So we'll definitely be helping that out. But, and then also Dobson, he's the promoter of Jacksonville, which and that's a pretty staple track right in the middle of town. They have a World Outlaw show, and
I want to pick his brain, because he thinks outside the box on social media, his posts and the way he explains things. And
I believe Daryl told us that when Daryl was on from Farmington, he said, I talked to that guy, and that guy's like, he's got the ideas, man. He understands stuff, and he goes, I need to talk to him more. So that'd be a pretty cool deal. I
was really hoping to get him down here, because I wanted to get him and Daryl together, but he said, I can't give up a whole Sunday right before race season. He said, we'll have to do it Zoom. And I said, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we're not sure if we're going to do an episode on, I know we're not recording on Easter Sunday, but we might try to do something the 19th. We'll see still yet. Yep. The 27th will be a fun interview. We'll have the Gross family racing.
Oh, yeah.
Haley and Gary. Yeah.
I've already talked, all kinds of cool stuff on them, but we'll keep it different this time. I don't want to get into too much, but we'll still have to get Gary lined up. I'm going to bring a couple Coors Lights in here so we get it fired up.
Yeah, there we go. And then the 4th, we'll have Caleb with Southern Illinois Speedway. So it's kind of our upcoming schedule as of now, and obviously this is subject to change. Things happen, people can't come in. And,
but that's our tentative thing. And I mean, all these people we probably mentioned, we'll probably get them on. It'll just, if it ain't that same day, it is. Yeah. Whatever. But when's Brownstown?
Man, I dropped the ball on Brownstown. They were supposed to race this past.
That's what I thought.
This weekend, and it rained out. So.
And there's just Friday night race.
Friday night. Yeah.
Okay, so I would say they're racing this
I would
Friday.
say probably so. Yeah.
Yep. I was trying to write all that down, and I skip that track.
Man, there's so many tracks. It's hard to write all this down sometimes, and
It'll be interesting to get to see all the information from Benton and mostly Jacksonville, and then the Southern Illinois. I'm a fan of, and I know a lot of the stuff there, so I'll be able to chime in on that big time. So we'll have a pretty good show with that, and he always has some pretty cool stuff out there, man. And their food is freaking amazing.
Is it?
Oh man, well you just get so much of it too, man. It's insane. If you want to feed your family, just get like chili cheese fries, and you could pretty much feed your family with it.
I've not been to Southern Illinois since we went. Me, you, my wife.
That was for the Hustle or something like that.
Yeah, Billy Joe Beard, I think, and that was the year that
Hagopian.
I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, I was going to say the D1 guy. Yeah, and I'll never forget that. Get that he gets out and he cries on the front straightaway because his family wasn't there, and I'm like, man, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, no, he's a billionaire now.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe not billionaire, but he's got some money now. I am gonna talk to Caleb. I'm gonna donate something to the track there, because every time I go there, their bathrooms are concrete walls and everything. You go in there to drop 2 in there, you lose about 10 pounds. It's so sweaty. So I'm gonna try to find, maybe on one of my jobs, a little fan, and I'm going to chain it to something in there so nobody steals it. And we got to get a fan in that bathroom. Whew.
That's
man,
funny.
you want to lose some weight, you go to Southern Illinois and hang out in the bathroom for about 5 minutes.
I hope to make it at some point this year. It never fails. I want to go with the Hustle, and we're always camping that weekend.
Yeah. Hustle the Sprague's a really good race. That Mod Light race, so I bet you that'll bring in some people from who knows where.
Yeah.
2,500 for a Mod Light's a pretty good deal.
Right, yeah. And I haven't asked him yet, but the week after Caleb, I've got Billy Joe Beard scheduled. But I haven't asked him yet, but I'm pretty sure he's on board. So
yeah, he'll come on board.
Figured that would be a great time because I know he's going to run that Mod Light show. So I figured that'd be a great time. All right. Got anything else you want to talk about? Or?
I don't think so, man. I think the whole small tire deal, the pack the stands deal, man, we can't say enough about it.
Yeah.
We thank everybody that was involved with it, and we're gonna definitely do a lot more cooler stuff like that with that, mostly during the Mauer race, probably Queens Royal. We got to get involved with all that. So
yeah, no, I agree.
Do some of that, and then we're gonna do a good handful. We're gonna try to talk to some people at Coles County this when we go up there, and we're so far away from there, but he supports us so hard that we want to do some kind of thing up there. And it's so far out in the middle of nowhere that they don't get a ton of stands people there, but we're going to kind of, I keep saying like a street team, we're going to kind of get a hand. I'm going to meet some of the racers that are from there that really want to support that track and are really passionate about it like we are about other stuff. And I want to meet them, and we're going to try to start sending them some ideas and, tickets or this or that. And then they're going to kind of have to help us out so that we can, be a part of it's hard for us to drive 3 hours to go try to do stuff, but
we're going to there's 2 tracks we're going to promote heavy, and that's Farmington Empire Speedway and Coles County.
Yep.
They've both been great to us. We love what they're doing at both places, and so we're going to spread the love and try to do a lot of things for both of them.
Yep. And I mean, of course, we're going to always be mentioning Peevely. We're going to always be mentioning Brownstown, SIR, Southern Illinois, because we're going to be there all the time. And we're going to be at a lot of these other ones, but these other guys have jumped on board with us so fast and so deep that, we're going to really help out. And this Pack the Stands deal was so crazy that, I want to do more. I want to do more stuff, man. I mean, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. And after this weekend, hanging out at the races and just, it's awesome, man. I mean, I don't know how people just don't get addicted to it like I am. It's nuts, and I'm super pumped about half the new kids that we're going to be helping out. And I mean, we talked about all of them, and the kids that we already have on board with stuff. And I mean, It's awesome.
All right, you ready to wrap this episode up? I know
that's about it, man.
Probably nobody will make it here. We're boring. They're probably not watching anymore anyway.
So. Oh yeah, nah, they'll tune into this one because we're going to caption it, drama fights and all kinds of stuff. You know how people get views on their stuff. That's what we're going to put on the headliner.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for episode 16 of the Dirty Right Rear podcast. See you next time.
Thank you, guys.